And now, forecast first on Ozarks Fox News.
Off on a picture-perfect note out there. We had sunny skies, we had mild temperatures this afternoon, and outside right now it is a quiet night, a little bit of high cloudiness. Temperatures are starting to settle through the 50s, currently 51 in Springfield. And here's a look at that bus stop forecast. Kids are going to wake up to a chilly day, 45. We've seen worse already this October. Skies are going to be blue. Looks like as we get into the afternoon, we are going to find mostly sunny conditions, and temperatures are going to be mild again. So we've got another mild day to look forward to as high temperatures top out around 67 degrees. We will find a cloudier and cooler pattern, though, settling in by the second half of this week. I'll have more on that coming up. Ozarks Fox News at 9 starts now.
Real, new, now. This is Ozarks Fox News at 9.
And welcome into Ozarks Fox News at 9. I'm John Adams.
Thanks for watching. I'm Jennifer Abreu. One of the biggest issues at the center of the midterm election is health care. 2018 is even being called by some the health care election.
And today the Care Force bus made a stop right here in Springfield as part of a nationwide tour pushing for the Affordable Care Act to remain in place, specifically for those with pre-existing conditions. Our Bria Douglas is here to tell us more about that tour. Bria.
John and Jennifer, the bus is carrying people with their own personal stories of how the Affordable Care Act saved their life. They're stopping in 23 states to sound the alarm against what they say are the Republicans' constant attacks on health care.
Last April, I walked into a doctor's office with a nagging cough, and I walked out with a stage 4 cancer diagnosis. I'm still here today because the Affordable Care Act saved my life.
It's time to bring this lawsuit back. It's time to stop denying people pre-existing conditions. Folks, call Josh Hawley's office today. Call him and tell him to end the war on health care in Missouri.
When these people head to the polls, health care is likely to be top of mind before casting their vote, which is why Missouri's U.S. Senate candidates are pulling out all the stops.
We've got two perfect little boys. Just ask their mama. Earlier this year, we learned our oldest has a rare chronic disease, pre-existing condition. We know what that's like. I'm Josh Hawley. I support forcing insurance companies to cover all pre-existing conditions.
At last week's debate, the topic of health care was one that neither candidate agreed on.
No cuts to Medicare. As I said, Josh Hawley is proposing cuts to Medicare by his lawsuit.
No, I just have to respond to that because that's flatly false. Only one person on this stage has voted to cut Medicare spending, and it's Senator McCaskill.
The November election will determine the balance of the House and Senate, which could in turn determine the future of the Affordable Care Act and pre-existing conditions.
Thank you, Bria. The fire marshal's office is investigating after a centuries-old home in the Roundtree neighborhood right here in Springfield becomes the target of arson.
Our Melanie Chapman spoke with the homeowner who says she could have been killed by the attack.
Kelly Sullivan Johnson believes she's lucky to be alive today. She walks through the charred debris of her home with an array of emotions. She gained strength with determination to find who was responsible for setting her beloved home of 20 years on fire and putting her life and a friend's life in jeopardy.
Where are you at the house on the night of the fire?
I was on the in the living room on the couch. I'd been up and down throughout the night because I couldn't sleep. And I kind of dozed off on the couch, and I heard what sounded like a scuffle or maybe furniture falling on my front porch.
This was around midnight last Sunday. She had a friend, Tom, who was upstairs to rest for the night after getting an Uber ride following the Chiefs game. At first, Kelly thought he got up and went outside. She went to the front window to see what was going on. She saw the flames.
I started yelling for Tom and dialing 911 at the same time, and opened the front door of my house, which, because I thought Tom would be out there, which is the wrong thing to do, but I was trying to find him. Then it just whooshed into the house and took over, and it just kind of this heat hit my face and just went up.
Firefighters raced into the house and found Tom upstairs. He was overcome with smoke inhalation. He was rescued in time.
This could have been a fatal fire.
Absolutely. If I had, I know without any certainty, if I had been in my bedroom asleep when this happened, with Tom being in the guest room, at the opposite end of the house and closest to where the fire was. I would have not been able to save him had I awoken.
Springfield Fire Marshal Mark Epps did confirm to me that this fire was intentionally set and that it started here on the front porch. He also tells me they believe Johnson's home was the intended target, and there are 2 persons of interest they want to talk to.
The noise I heard on the front porch had to be the people that set my house on fire.
For now, Johnson is not disclosing her whereabouts and being very cautious of where she is seen. She has set a $2,000 reward for someone to come forward with the right information to bring this suspect or suspects into custody. In Springfield, Melanie Chapman, Ozarks First.
Unbelievable story there. Anyone with information on this case is asked to call authorities. As for Johnson, she says she plans to restore her home and move back into that neighborhood.
A developing story right now. Southbound ramps on Route 65 to Kearney Street and Interstate 44 will close tonight for shoulder paving. The southbound ramps on 65 to Kearney Street just closed at 8, and eastbound I-44 to southbound Route 65 will close at 10. Both ramps are to be reopened at 6 a.m. Tuesday. And a child in Lawrence County learned something new after an accidental run-in with law enforcement. The Lawrence County Sheriff's Office posted this note on their Facebook page after the child was playing with a phone and accidentally called 911. The parents of the child turned this into a learning lesson and helped him write an apology letter to the deputies. The letter reads, "I am so sorry for calling 911. I did not know my old phone really worked. Thank you so much for all you do to keep us safe."
New information tonight at 9. Kansas City police are investigating a deadly car crash started by an off-duty cop. They say the officer caused a crash Sunday that killed a teenager on his way to the Kansas City Chiefs game. According to authorities, about 4 cars were involved in that accident. It started when that officer rear-ended the car the teen was driving. The sudden loss prompted a response from Chiefs head coach Andy Reid.
In the accident before the game, my heart goes out to that family. So
today, Kansas City police went back to the scene of that crash for the accident reconstruction. They say the officer was headed to the Chiefs game as well to work security. They don't know if speed played a role, but say he was not impaired at the time.
Backavor Foods is recalling nearly 800,000 pounds of ready-to-eat meat products because an ingredient that may be contaminated of salmonella and listeria. The recalled items are Harris Teeter Fresh Foods Market Deli Bakery brand, barbecue-style chicken artisan pizza, chicken sausage, egg white and cheese breakfast burrito, and bacon, egg, and cheese burritos. Trader Joe's carnitas with salsa verde burritos are also included. If you are a client of Jenny Craig, check your freezer for the chicken wrap with barbecue sauce. The USDA says vegetables in the wrap may be contaminated with listeria and salmonella. The affected meals were shipped directly to consumers in 12 states. The recall includes those produced between October of 2017 and this October. So far, there have not been any reports of illness. Officials warn the product should be thrown away or returned. Almost 2.5 million pounds of ready-to-eat meat and poultry taquitos are being recalled due to possible salmonella and listeria contamination. The recall was released by Ruiz Food Products. The recalled taquitos were produced from July 1st through October 10. The problem was discovered when the company was notified that the diced onions were recalled due to salmonella and listeria concerns. There have been no confirmed reports of illness after the products have been eaten, according to the release.
In local news, another alternative medicine store has opened in Springfield, but Hemporium in the Twin Oaks Shopping Center on South National doesn't just sell CBD oil. Business manager Greg Lee tells Ozarks Fox that Hemporium sells all types of hemp products, including backpacks, shirts, and even paper. They also sell CBD products derived from hemp, used for pain management and anxiety relief. Store owners say they haven't had any problems opening up bank accounts or had run-ins with federal officials like other CBD shops right here in Springfield. However, the business is only cash or check to pay, no credit cards, due to federal guidelines.
Our primary focus here is education. There's been a stigma for the last several decades against hemp and products made from the hemp plant, and we really think that it's time for an awakening.
The business will have a ribbon-cutting ceremony with the Chamber of Commerce on November the 6th. Coincidentally, that same day, voters will decide on allowing medical marijuana in Missouri. Lee says if that happens, he would consider opening a dispensary in Springfield. And Jamie joins us now with a check of the weather. Jamie, even more nice fall days in our future.
Yeah, today was a beauty. I mean, we had temperatures topping out near 70 in Springfield. Some areas actually made it into the low 70s. Tomorrow looks mild again across the area, but we will see temperatures taking a bit of a slide by the end of the week. More on that after the break.
You're watching Ozarks Fox News at 9 with John Adams, Jennifer Abreu, and weather with meteorologist Beth Bonello. And now, weather, real, new, now, with Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner.
Well, today was a good one. I hope we can string more of these days together, but it looks like we're going to see the warmth giving way to cooler weather later this week. But we've got some more mild weather ahead for tomorrow. Today, though, 69 degrees outside. That was the warmest day since October the 9th. Of course, that's well off the record high of 84. That's right, we could still make it into the 80s. The average high is 67 degrees, so just about spot on target for this time of the year. And temperatures to the north, you can see actually snuck into the low 70s. Haven't done that in a while. Areas to the south had highs in the mid to upper 60s. Here's a look at the month so far. And of course, it's been really a tale of two seasons. It felt like summer during the first week and a half of the month of October. And then since then, it's felt a lot more like maybe late fall and at times early winter. Now today, we're kind of getting back to our warm ways with highs up near 70 degrees. It is a quiet night out there with mostly clear skies. The bark a lot worse than the bite with these clouds. These are way upstairs in the atmosphere, very high, very thin. Plenty of starshine and moonshine coming through those clouds. Looking at the broader view of what's going on across not only the nation, but also south down in Mexico. Mexico is dealing with a storm very much like the one that hit Panama City and areas along the Florida Panhandle. What is this, about a week and a half ago? Willa is the name of this hurricane. Earlier today had winds of 155 miles per hour. And it looks like this storm is going to roar ashore over the next 24 hours. This storm, believe it or not, in a way, will have an impact on weather here in the United States later this week, as it looks like it will generate a storm near the Gulf that will continue to track east. That storm will be non-tropical. Also, we're looking at unsettled weather here in the western U.S. will eventually find its way east as we work through Thursday of this week. Until then, though, things are looking really nice for us. We had a mild day today. We've been ahead of a cold front. That cold front will quietly glide across the area tomorrow. And we really won't feel the impacts of that cold front until Wednesday. So because the cooler air is lagging that front, we've got another mild day to look forward to. Our hour-by-hour forecast looking mostly clear overnight tonight. I think we're going to hold on to mainly sunny conditions again on Tuesday. Yes, there's going to be some high cloudiness, but all in all, it looks pretty bright across the area. Temperatures tonight will drop into the mid-40s, and then tomorrow we'll see afternoon readings topping out generally in the 60s again. In fact, it looks like we'll be up around 67 for a high in Springfield. Areas to the south in northern Arkansas, areas that had a cooler day today versus areas to the north, will actually have the warmer day tomorrow, topping out around 70 degrees in Harrison, Yellville, as well as Mountain Home. Winds out of the northeast at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Looking at the pattern, I mentioned that unsettled batch of weather in the western U.S. making its way east. That'll generate clouds and even some shower chances on Thursday for the area. That'll zip on by, and we're going to see a nice trough developing across the eastern U.S. And within that trough, we're going to have these ripples of upper-level energy, which are going to be rotating through that trough and moving over the Ozarks. And that's going to keep our pattern a little on the unsettled side, I think, for late this week into this upcoming weekend. We're going to have some sun, but we'll have some clouds, and there'll be a chance for a few showers at times. And looking way down the road at Halloween, looks like it will be a quiet night with partly to mostly cloudy skies and temperatures around 50. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast, and again, it looks like we're in for a pretty nice week ahead. We're going to keep those shower chances away until Thursday, and also a few shower chances, I think, Friday into this upcoming weekend. But all in all, not a bad forecast at all. Temperatures, they'll be sliding a little bit as we'll be finding highs into the upper 50s later this week.
So a little bit of sunshine before some of that rain.
Yeah, we're going to have a couple of really nice days over the Ozarks. So we've had really a string of nice days going back to this weekend.
Including today.
Yeah. Okay, our Viewers Club number for tonight, 203-402 is the number, and our jackpot stands at $1,300.
All right. And an Army veteran is taking on a daunting challenge.
We came home with everyone, but after we got home, within 2.5 months, we lost our first guy.
Find out how far he's cycling and how he hopes working to bring hope to his fellow veterans next. Welcome back to Ozarks Fox News at 9. Here's a quick look at the stories making headlines.
The U.S. Coast Guard just released a video of a daring rescue. Coast Guard crews pulled 15 people from the water off the coast of San Diego after a fishing boat from Mexico caught fire. You're seeing video of 2 people as they were lifted into a helicopter. The cause of the fire is not known.
Imagine watching your favorite football team lose big and then seeing this happen to your car. Several New York Jets fans found their cars up in flames after yesterday's game. Police say some tailgaters dumped hot coals from a grill and a car parked over it.
And a new study shows more than 750 dietary supplements contain ingredients that aren't on the label. The study, published in the JAMA Open Network, shows the most risky supplements are weight loss and muscle building varieties. FDA officials say you should always check with your doctor before taking supplements.
New at 9 this evening, the drop in temperatures means people are turning on their heat, but heating can be dangerous if you don't prepare correctly. To avoid a heating fire, experts recommend clearing out any dust or dirt in your unit. You can also use humidifiers to make heating more efficient. When you turn on the heat, you're actually heating the water in the air, so keeping humidity up will make your heating bill actually cheaper. And don't forget, if you have a gas-powered furnace or water heater, you run the risk of deadly carbon monoxide in your home. Erica Klein, a heating unit technician, explains another tip to stay safe.
Definitely make sure smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors are up to date. A lot of people don't realize those have expiration dates on them. A lot of sensors only last for 10 years.
Over the next few weeks, Ozarks Fox is bringing you stories of those who have served in our Veterans Voices series.
And tonight we're introducing you to a veteran who says he wants to turn 1,500 miles into $150,000 to help his fellow service members.
He's actually doing that by riding his bike despite being paralyzed. Brett Hall met up with him in Virginia.
After biking 120 miles in one day, most people likely wouldn't agree to a bike race.
3, 2, 1, go!
But you will quickly learn Ricky Raley isn't most people. There isn't a challenge he won't take on.
I've been on variations of this style of bike for about 10 years now.
Raley was paralyzed from the waist down after he was involved in a car wreck in 2009. Nearly 6 months earlier, he had returned from serving in the Army in Iraq, where he says an IED explosion left him with brain damage. Yet none of that is why he's riding from New York City to Tampa, making sure he stopped in Virginia Beach.
It's important to come here and reach this market because there's so many veterans in this area.
Veterans he knows are suffering on the inside.
We came home with everyone, but after we got home, within 2.5 months we lost our first guy for suicide, and then it just kept going, and then the number just keeps going. So I need to stop that, not just for my guys, but for everyone out there.
So it's why he's talking to everyone, raising money for the Boot campaign that works with vets to improve their lives. No matter the issue, traumatic brain injury, PTSD, chronic pain, insomnia, Raley says there is help.
No one needs it more than you.
I'm Brett Hall reporting.
Some new information for you now on Fox. CBS interim chairman Richard Parsons is resigning after just 1 month due to health reasons. Parsons began the role when longtime chairman and CEO Leslie Moonves left the company in September 9th following allegations of sexual assault. In a statement, Parsons says he suffers from multiple myeloma that was stable at the time of accepting the chair. But now he's being advised by doctors to cut back on his commitments and focus on his health. The CBS board is continuing to search for a permanent replacement for Moonves. Strauss Zelnick, CEO of Take-Two Interactive Software, is set to assume the role in the interim.
Well, still to come, a Branson legend is returning to the stage nearly 2 years after fire destroyed his theater.
Find out where Shoji Tabuchi will be performing this holiday season after the break.